I am falling for her so deeply. How could these other men that are in her orbit not like her like that? They don't.
They don't.
I gotta tell you.
Can't stress this enough. You're the only one that wants to fuck me. Welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Eat.
Welcome back. It's gloomy out.
That's how we like it. You remember it used to rain every single time we had something important to do?
Every day. Came in hot for our first live show, like looking like a drowned rat. You're like, this is my dad.
Hey, do you want to maybe say hi to my dad who you've never met? Who's heard all about you?
He's having the worst day of my life.
You really can. Yeah, every show there was a torrential downpour or a blizzard.
Yeah.
They're back. I feel like it's supposed.
It hasn't been rainy though. Like when it's been so like I love a good rainy day.
It rained yesterday,
but it hasn't been.
Right.
It's been so sunny and great.
I feel like the universe was
not
like,
to brag.
We're gonna give people a break. It's a pandemic. Everything's terrible. We'll give you some sun.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp Therapy Online. For 10% off your first month, go to betterhelp.com/GGE. So we all carry around different stressors, big and small, throughout life. And when we keep them bottled up, it can start to affect us really negatively. And therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and figure out how to work through whatever is weighing you down. And sometimes we can have journals and self-talk and friends and family that help us, but it is really, really helpful to talk to a therapist outside of that, and they can empower you to be a better version of yourself and set boundaries and work through whatever is going on with you personally, professionally, in your love life, with friends. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. So you'll just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime at no additional charge. I absolutely love what they're doing, and they make it so simple. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GGE today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GGE.
You know how you were like waiting for me to have a conversation with you about like how late we always start recording? Because like, we always plan on 1 and then, you've kept me here until 5 and you're like, I've just been waiting. I've been waiting for you to tell me I need to dress better to record.
What?
I feel like, especially since I started working out, I look so sloppy every day because I like work out, take a shower, come over to be with you. And I was like zipping up this hoodie and I was like, oof, this is not cute.
Why would I tell you to look better? Because the worse you look, then I'm the pretty one.
Has this been your strategy all along?
What you look like doesn't reflect on me, bitch.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. People watch this and they're like, the other one used to be cute. She's not anymore.
Great. Say it. Also, we're dressed the same. We're both wearing leggings and black sweatshirts.
I feel like you athleisure it up cuter than I do.
But that's my style.
That's your thing.
You do other stuff cuter than me.
Like what?
Overalls?
I used to do overalls. This is my vibe anymore.
Okay.
I do feel like my athleisure game has stepped up, but I don't wear it over here. Because I'm just like, we're sitting on the couch. It's cute. This is like homey. I'm not going to get dressed up to come over. I buy just cute stuff.
I could never tell you how to dress because I wouldn't, because that means I got to step my game up. I have no room to talk is what I'm saying. But anyway.
So you have a new purchase in your apartment.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So first of all, last week's episode, if you didn't listen, stop what you're doing right now and go back and listen. It's truly one of the funniest episodes.
Yeah, fuck this episode.
People fuck this episode. It's just us now. It was one of my truly most favorite, most hilarious episodes. We were getting tagged in the funniest stuff. People were like fucking up during getting their eyelashes done. They were falling off the treadmill. People couldn't get out of their car because they were crying, laughing. People like were dry heaving, almost throwing up. They were laughing so hard. Like it was really so funny. These are tags. I'm saying like these are people were saying.
Yeah. Ashley's not just imagining that you guys were dry heaving in your car.
Yeah.
Ashley's like, I felt it.
I felt the energy. And we talked about a Trader Joe's cinnamon broom.
Yes.
Last week, at the point of the cinnamon broom, I did not own one.
Do you think everybody knows what a cinnamon broom is, by the way?
Okay. If you don't know, also, if you want to go back, there's even a clip on our Instagram about the whole decor cinnamon broom situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a broom that smells like cinnamon. You get them at Trader Joe's and I'm sure fucking places like Home Goods and shit, and they just smell your home up. I do remember having one so many years ago in my Atlanta apartment. I always have loved the smell of cinnamon.
But the Atlanta apartment was really big.
It was bigger.
Okay.
So we had this whole conversation about the cinnamon broom. At that point, I didn't own one in this lifetime. I had just seen it in the Trader Joe's. Then the next day, I went to Trader Joe's and I took a picture of it and I sent it to Usama. A little flirty, you know?
I was like, what is the most embarrassing thing you've ever bought to find a reason to text a guy?
But I didn't have to buy it. I just took a picture. Yeah. But then I was like, I'm going to buy it. 99 cents.
Yeah, maybe he'll come over to visit the broom.
For the medium size. So there's like a big, that's like a broom, big giant broom, medium size, 99 cents in Trader Joe's at the checkout aisle. And then there's like mini tiny brooms. Cause I didn't know this, but people were like tagging us in their cinnamon brooms. And I saw like a baby. So I bought this medium size. I got it in the apartment. I could not handle the potency of the smell. It wasn't even out of the bag. It wasn't even out of the bag and it was overwhelming me. And then I was like, okay, maybe I got to air it out. So I took it out of the bag. It was in the corner. I couldn't breathe. It was so potent. I cannot live. I put it outside. I'm like, maybe it'll air it out outside. I put it outside in the patio. Tell me why. I was in my bedroom. The window was open. I could still smell that shit through the window.
I feel like I can taste it right now.
What is going on? It is the
potent,
suffocating. Honestly,
I just think it's like one of those things in theory, you like the idea. Like I made a horrible mistake. I loved the smell of the hotel lobby at the one hotel. And I was like, I got to get the smell. And I bought a diffuser of that smell. My apartment, I want to die. I hate the way it smells. It's too much.
It's too much.
I liked it for 1 second. I liked it while I was checking into a hotel for 30 seconds. I don't want this in my home.
Well, I do love I mean, I have a candle burning right now that's got like a cinnamon smell, but like something about that broom. I don't know what. Well, you know, there's weird shit going on at Trader Joe's, whatever they're doing. We cut this part last week, but they got the place has weird sexual energy. A friend of mine said he thinks everybody there is Antifa. It's just, they got weird shit going on. How they get those low prices, I don't understand. They have something going on in there. So whatever they're lacing the cinnamon broom with, like it is unbearable. It's outside in the rain right now. I'm done with it.
I feel like I could.
It cannot be in the house.
It's too potent. A giant cinnamon broom.
I mean, you know, the length of that patio is, I don't know, it's 20 feet long. It's long. It's a huge patio.
Yeah, you're looking at me to validate that. Yes, it's enormous.
It was at one end. I was sitting on the couch. At the other end, could still in my nostrils. Again, I cannot stress this enough. It was wafting through the window and hitting me in my bed.
It's also not like a rose smell. It's cinnamon. It's the most potent smell. And I can taste it through your windows. I've been smelling it all day.
So, I mean, maybe if you have a bigger home, or maybe I just got an extra strong one, but like I have to announce here today that like the cinnamon broom, I cannot live with it. We cannot coexist.
You're going to give it to a neighbor?
I'm going to throw it out. It was 99 cents. Also, it's been outside in the rain for 2 days. Actually, maybe now it's like, maybe that's the secret.
It? You should go sniff it.
All right.
Okay, we went and smelled it. First of all, I touched it and I feel like I'm going to be smelling it on my hand for the rest of my life.
All right, here's the deal. New suggestion alert. Get you a cinnamon broom and then put it outside in the rain for 2 days.
Take it to the creek
and then you can bring it in. So anyway, that's my cinnamon broom update. If you guys are like coexisting with yours, like more power to you. Maybe I just got like an extra strong one. Again, we don't know what's going on down there in Trader Joe's, but yeah, it just wasn't. I could not stop laughing that like I brought it in this house and had to put it outside.
I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think it was a nice window to just open the door to talk to Usama more.
Yeah, I don't know.
He said he got a bunch of DMs from our listeners.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
You couldn't feel the energy between us? He said he didn't want to fuck me on the episode. So it was never going to work because he said it wouldn't.
Because he was really open about that. I could not stop staring at his fingers the entire recording. They're so long and thin. I feel like that guy finger's good.
They're a little thin though.
They're too thin.
Like the years ago when like Kate and I we were dating all these guys, we were like always going to dating these terrible guys. We had nicknames for them all. And she dated a guy that we called Lady Fingers and his hands were just too slender. I love a big man hand.
I guess you're right though.
Corey's husband.
Well, he's a big guy.
Corey Well, he's not that big though. Like my other best friend, besides Raina and Kate, Corey, there's 3. He looks like he's wearing Hulk hands. Like he looks like he put on fake hands. He's 5'11".
I guess I don't even know why I'm having these like thoughts about fingers, because like I'm not out here wanting to get fingered. I'm not 12. No one's sticking their giant long fingers up me.
Yeah, I don't want to get. That's just such a good call. Like, why do we care? To me, it's
hands.
It's hands.
Yes.
Usama's a great looking guy. He has great hands. They're not a deal breaker. Little baby hands, deal breaker. Do you know my story about baby hands? While we're here, I think I told this, you know what I told on Hannah Burns' podcast. I've never told it here today. Here we go. So this was maybe when I was like 27, 28. So like last year. And I was in this dry spell. Like it had been a while. So I was like, I'm just going to go out and get laid tonight. Easy to do. Went to a place in Atlanta called Smith's Old Bar. We were like hanging out, getting drunk, whatever. And I just was like, I'm just going to pick a person. I wish I could just do this today. I guess I could, but it's COVID. I was like, I'm just going to pick a person. Met this guy. He walked up to me. He was maybe my height, maybe a little bit shorter. I think he had like a thing for tall women. He hit on me. He walked
fetishized you because you're a giant.
He walked right up to me. And I'm like, I guess this is my option. You know, I guess this is it for the night. I'm just going to go with this guy. He had a cute face. Definitely wasn't like as big as I would have preferred, but I was like very drunk and I was like, fine, this will work. We went to like another bar, like just personality, whatever. Didn't really get a good look at like his hands, his limbs, whatever. But I was just like, this is fine. So he came home with me. We did fuck. It was actually pretty good from what I remember. Like, I kind of think I like had a decent orgasm for being like pretty drunk and like a new guy. Like I remember being kind of crazy. We were like doing all these different positions. Like he was good. He fucked good.
I can't believe you got off.
Yeah. Cause we sobered up a smidge and then came home and like fucked. And I was like, I can't believe I got off either. The next morning we're in my bed and Dewey jumped up on the bed. Back when he could get up there, when he was like a young spry, and he jumped up on the bed and this guy went to like pet him and his little hands on Dewey's head. It was like his little baby hands like touching the top of Dewey's head. And I was like, you got to go.
You kicked him out for having baby hands.
Okay, I have something to do.
Were they smaller than my hands?
They were like, I mean, you're a teeny tiny person, but like they were such small man hands, and like to see them on Dewey's like big head, like just the way he was petting him, I like almost like I just felt like I was gonna throw up.
I mean, listen, I just like a big man. Like, I feel you. I feel like I want like big shoulders, big back, big hands, like more than I want a big dick.
And I don't even need a huge dude. I've said this before. Like the best sex I've had in my life have been with like guys that I've dated that were like really just 5'11", like maybe barely 6 feet, like not huge dudes, but they had decent hands. It's one of my requirements. My mom feels the same way. She said she was always attracted to my dad's like hands, wrists, forearms.
I'm attracted to your dad's hands.
Oh my God, stop.
Wrists and forearms.
I cannot with baby hands.
Yeah, it's not for me.
And I was like, I can't believe that guy's hands were all over me the night before. Those teeny tiny hands.
You ever talk to teeny hand guy again?
Never. He tried to date me so hard.
You got off. The sex was good. You were like, the hands is where I draw the line.
He was just... aside from the hands, we woke up and I was not attracted to him anymore in the daylight sober. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It filled the need that night, but he wanted to date me because I was so like, okay, time to go. This was like pre-Uber. I don't know how he got home.
You were like, just leave.
I just was like, I have something to do.
Bye.
He was like, oh, do you need to like walk the dog? I'm like, I'll do that on my own.
Do that on my own. I just feel like one night stands are so weird.
You gotta get them out of there.
Just leave. Well, also I don't sleep over like when I have a one night stand. Like the guy in my building, I didn't even want him to sleep over. I was like, you live here, go there.
But that's what was so crazy because I mean, I just was such a different person in my 20s, you know, when I was like drinking so much and like fucking around and dating and like to bring strangers home with you is so crazy because they're in your home. Like if you spend the night with somebody, you can get up and get the fuck out. But like a stranger in your home,
I don't want them in my home. I'll go to their home and I will excuse myself out of their home immediately.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to sleep there.
Bringing someone home, but like you're drunk, you don't think about what the morning's going to look like, and then you wake up with this like tiny hand dude.
I don't want to do it. I'm trying to think about the last time I had like a one night stand. I like slept at somebody's place. I don't want it. I don't want somebody in my home, in my space. I'd rather go there. I'd rather be able to leave.
Yeah.
I see those hands and I'm out the door.
Right. Yeah.
You know who I can't escape is my neighbor that I fucked, and I ran into him. I ran into him in the elevator the other day. It was not comfortable. It was not good.
Yeah.
I looked probably the ugliest I've ever looked.
But on a scale of
he looked uglier.
1 to him.
He looked worse. I was like, I can't believe you've been inside of me. This is so crazy. He probably looked at me though. I was like, well, quarantine has not been good to her. I was super hungover and greasy.
Your body hasn't changed.
I hadn't brushed my teeth.
Oh God! If you haven't brushed your teeth,
it was not good. It was not good. It was.
I've smelled your breath after.
We cannot spend the whole episode talking about I smell bad. I don't smell bad. Okay, I burp once a year, and I smell maybe once a year also. I don't smell bad. I brush my teeth every day. I water pick that shit. I spent a lot of money on my teeth look like this. Okay, Google me, bitch. Everything on Google is Raina Greenberg's teeth.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. I take it back.
And also, it's not just me. I'm not the only person whose breath is bad in the morning who hasn't brushed their teeth. Everyone out here is out here with morning breath.
That is fair. There's been some times when I've like got up and not brushed my teeth and had to take Dewey on a walk in a mask.
I was in
your
a mask.
Own breath in your mouth. There one day, because I usually wake up and brush my teeth. Like I always do, but sometimes you just don't. Like I will do it when I get back from walking Dewey. But I remember one time I didn't. I thought I was taking Dewey for a quick walk around the block. I saw Derek. We walked around the whole neighborhood. I'm like smelling my own breath the whole time. I was
disgusting.
like, I gotta go, Derek. I gotta get out of here. I can't stop. I gotta stop smelling my own breath.
Yeah. So I saw him. First of all, whatever. I woke up. I worked out. I had not brushed my teeth yet.
Oh God.
I walked outside.
You guys were like filling your beautiful apartment with your own hot breath, working out. You don't. I can't imagine. So much heavy breathing.
No, you control your breath. It doesn't matter how hard you're working out. You got to control that shit. I was on my way into the building. He was on his way out of the building. And then I become so awkward because I don't know what to say around him. And so he was like, I'm getting coffee. And I offered to go with him. And then I walked to the coffee spot. And then he didn't have money. So I paid for our coffees. And then I just told him my whole life story. I don't think he talked once. This went on for 30 minutes. I don't think he talked for 1 second. And
girl, this level of desperation was this April 2020?
It wasn't desperation.
What were you doing?
I get awkward around people that don't talk, and so I overcompensate, and I look so ugly.
You invite them to coffee?
I had him to...
You get awkward. You invite them out and pay for them.
I told him Liz Warren came on the show.
If you guys are looking for a free meal, just find Rain on the street, and maybe she's feeling awkward that day. She'll take you out. Why did you bring him to coffee?
I don't know. I thought the coffee would mask my breath. I don't know. I brought up Elizabeth Warren because I was like, I know I look terrible, but like, look who we had on the podcast. It was a whole mess. It was a mess.
It's funny because like he didn't look good. Like you weren't even attracted to him. So this whole thing of you like latching into him and being like, let's have a coffee date, I'll pay. It had nothing. He looked worse than he did normally, right?
Ever. He looked like a wildebeest. I was like,
it's a deep cut.
This is
of an animal.
Is
that a real animal?
A wildebeest?
Or is it like a unicorn?
Don't DM us. We'll Google it. Okay. No, the last thing I will say about this is when I first started fucking my neighbor a year and a half ago, I remember feeling like so nervous. I had to like look so pretty all the time in the building. So every time I'd get into the laundry room or in the lobby, like anytime I'm in the elevator, I had to like have a ball gown on. I did full makeup to do laundry.
Yeah.
By full makeup for me is eyeliner, mascara. But I looked so pretty. And now I'm just like out here just looking like dog shit.
Who cares?
I've really come so far.
Well, the worst thing that could happen is that guy tries to fuck you again. Because then you just got to lock the doors and pretend you're not home. Because that's never happening
Worst thing that could happen is that I agree to it, actually.
No. The worst thing that could happen is you agree to it and then he sits his naked ass on your white couch and doesn't leave.
You guys, it was...
But then you ask him to put on a robe and then you slow dance together in your apartment.
I think he stole my romper on New Year's Eve. We're not sure where it went.
Yeah.
He came down and fucked me and the next day the romper was gone.
I mean, that's the only explanation. Like it's not, there's nowhere to hide in a New York City apartment.
He stole my romper.
He's probably wearing it.
Be better than what I saw him wearing the other day. Okay. So one last thing, quick update. The new Bachelorette season started.
You know we wouldn't leave you hanging.
Last night, Claire Crawley, huge season.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend is on the season.
Guys, listen. We came back in to record this for you. We did this intro yesterday. This is Wednesday. We did it yesterday. We watched the premiere. We were like, fuck it. We got to come back in the studio because we cannot not talk about this. We were all up in Dale's Instagram.
Okay. So let's back up. We want to explain to you guys how we know Dale Moss. So Dale Moss came on our show 2 years ago. Do you have the exact date?
I mean, June or July 2018.
Right.
It's called Still Not a Player. early on, summer 2018.
And we were introduced to him by a mutual colleague, friend. Yeah. And that's how he came on the show. We wanted to do an episode about interracial dating with him pretty early on. And you guys, you hit it off. You know, it was bad. Listen, since day one, Ashley and I have always decided who's going to fuck the guest. And we decided this was your episode.
But I never did. Anyway, so I'm not Eskimo Sisters with Claire Crawley. And we talked more about Dale. We had a very funny segment about him on the August 10th episode. So like just a couple months ago with me and this whole situation with the backpack. Most of you guys probably heard it, but if you didn't, go back and listen. It's very funny. So if you see us commenting on Dale's Instagram with a backpack emoji, you'll know why. But yeah, like if you keep up with pop culture, celebrity news, you know that like Claire is, and if you watched the premiere last night, she's leaving the season. Her and Dale fell in love, allegedly. It's crazy. It's so crazy to like know the person that's like the person.
It's so crazy. First of all, there's been like 47 seasons of The Bachelor. Yeah. I don't know how many. This is the first time anybody's just left the show
and fell in love night one. Okay, I didn't know how serious it was going to be the moment she met him. Like she was like, I think I just met my husband. Everything went black around me. I was like, I had chills. I hate myself. I've watched this show so many times. It's so cheesy, but I just like still get invested. And like, that was a real moment, I think. I don't know. Well, Jared Freed begs to differ, but we'll get to that.
Like she went right back in and like re-recorded it.
Or no, he thinks they talked or met before, perhaps.
It did sort of seem like that. I mean, but I will say,
Dale slid in those DMs.
First of all, if Dale Moss is getting out of a limo, I will promise you I just met my husband too.
Also, I need to tell you guys,
the hottest.
I need to tell you that he looks beautiful on the show. I'm sorry, Farina's going to slip him. It sounds like you're not over it. He looks beautiful on the show. It still doesn't do him justice. People
Absolutely not.
Always look better in person than on TV. Like if you ever meet somebody that was on television, you will be like, oh my gosh, you're so much like smaller than I thought. Like women are always like so teeny tiny and men are just so much hotter. Like TV doesn't do you any favors. Like if you were to see him in person, not to brag, but you know, we have plenty of times. He's just like godlike.
I mean, also go to any express in the United States. He's the main male model.
That's so funny you said that. We forgot when we were in Columbus.
Well, in Columbus Strip Mall,
the Town Center Mall, Easton Town Center. There was a huge poster of Dale. We drove by. We meant to go back and take a photo. Anyway. Last night was incredible. The kiss was hot. Obviously, you got the first impression rose. I am so fucking juiced up for this season.
Can't wait.
Like, we're going to really watch a couple fall in love that like basically fell in love at first sight if they're showing us what really happened. Truly. Also her dress, don't get me started.
Girl, that dress isn't doing anybody any favors.
I can't with the prom dresses.
I mean, somebody thought let's shatter a mirror and then sew all the remnants on this dress. Also put 7 more layers of tulle under it.
Her like
that dress wasn't doing anybody any favors. And she is gorgeous. She looks better than I've ever looked in my life. Her body is incredible. She looks amazing. That dress, that smashed up mirror dress, not for me.
People on Twitter were comparing it to like this purse you had in like the early 2000s with like a bunch of little things hanging and dangling off of it. They're like, why is Claire's dress my purse from 2005? Yeah, so we're not going to do
weekly
updates, but we at least wanted to come in here and remind you guys that we know Dale and he is going to be all over the news. And go back and listen to Still Not a Player if you haven't yet. And just, I can't recommend the season enough.
Go to his Instagram, see Ashley commenting publicly, I'm jealous, but I'm happy for you.
No, I'm jealous, but I'm supportive. Backpack emoji, rose emoji. Thank you all snackheads who got in there and
everybody.
It was so funny.
Within minutes,
top comment.
Yours doubled the likes that I had on there in minutes.
It's because he's my ex.
It is true.
Okay. Also, what I can't recommend enough, Jared Freed's updates. Last night was the funniest thing I've ever. Last night made me thankful for COVID because of the way
that sentence is not going to age well.
It's not going to age well, and you guys know I'm fucking joking. The way he covered last night when he said that he was like, if somebody told me I was going to be on The Bachelor in 2 weeks, I would spit the cookie out of my mouth. Like, can you imagine? You've been in quarantine. You've been eating the house down, and they're like, by the way, in 2 weeks we start filming The Bachelorette. Are you kidding me? I couldn't stop laughing thinking about getting that call. I was dying. He was like, I want Chris Harrison to give me my test results for everything. I was crying. And then when he was talking about Claire's butt and you hear Jared's girlfriend in the back be like, Jared. And he was like, peanut gallery. Like, I love his girlfriend in the background too. Sorry, I couldn't get enough of
No, by the way, if I, in the middle of a international pandemic, decide to risk it all and go be on the Bachelor season, and then this bitch quits like a week in, I have done so much and risked everything to go be on the show, and the main person quits the show.
But then you get Tayshia. I don't know.
Then you get what?
Tayshia. We'll see. Are they going to keep the same guys? We don't know.
I think they will. I don't like any of these guys. Like,
I don't like these guys either. Like, no wonder Dale stood out.
I mean, first of all, Dale could stand out
because he's
anywhere.
I truly said this. I think I said this a couple weeks ago or a month ago when we talked about this. Like, he is a genuinely good guy, and I don't think you get a lot of them. I think you get a lot of narcissists. You get a lot of people that want to be on TV that go on that show. And I think someone that's true and genuine their energy radiates. And I think she picked up on that.
100%. I think a million people go on the show to get 1 billion Instagram followers to fuck a bunch of little sluts.
Yeah.
Which also, if you're a slut, go off.
Yeah, like, I'm an express model. I don't even need this.
He literally doesn't need it. I've been on Girls Gotta Eat. I've gotten all the pussy I need. Okay. I know Ashley Hasseltine. I think that is really, really spot on. And I just think he's the hottest man alive. And I don't like any of the other contestants. That guy that got out of the limo pregnant. He's like, she knows that I'm funny. That wasn't funny.
No, you're not funny. You're not funny, straight jacket guy. You're not funny, Harvard guy in the Rolls Royce with the scarf. None of you guys are fucking funny. Any guy that lets a producer talk them into that dumb shtick is not for me. Bye. You're out of here. I cannot believe she gave straight jacket a rose. I mean,
he wore the straight jacket the
all
whole
night
episode. You guys, he was at the rose ceremony in a straight jacket.
Listen, go watch Jared's. We need to stop hyping Jared. No, we don't.
No, we don't. I look forward every week. It is my favorite activity during Bachelor season to get high and watch Jared Freed in bed.
And, while we're talking about Jared, we said we were going to go to whatever city Jared goes to, and people are not going to forget it.
We're working on it.
People literally stand there like, Jared's in Raleigh. Jared's in Raleigh. Jared's in Kansas City. Francis is in Kansas City. I'm like, okay.
Jared's in Rockford.
Jared's in Albany. Jared just played a parking lot in Wisconsin, and I don't understand why you girls haven't.
Jared is at the drive-in theater in Queens. Where are you bitches at? We're working on it.
So you guys know that Ashley and I love to travel. We do it all the time, professionally and socially. And it is really, really important to me to have the best luggage possible, both functionally and just the way it looks. And Beis is my absolute favorite. I have everything that they do. I have their check-in bags. I have their carry-on. I have their mini weekender. But I just got their newest bag. I am so obsessed. It's the East to West tote. And it is the absolute perfect bag for like a 1 to 3 day trip. And I just took it with me to Santa Barbara. And it was just perfect for like a few dinner outfits, a couple daytime stuff. I had a padded laptop sleeve, a place for a water bottle, zipper pockets, and there's like an extra removable strap. Also, I just think it's really beautiful. I got it in the beige color, but all of Beis's stuff comes in lots of colors. It's highly functional. Outside of this bag, which I am crazy about, their luggage has 360-degree gliding wheels, a cushioned handle, which I love when I'm at the airport, built-in weight indicator, and I always say this, I love their washable bags. So a great travel hack is to just have like a laundry bag in your suitcase. They provide that for you too. It's so cute. Everything they do is super durable and beautiful and functional. I just can't say enough about Beis. I love them. And right now, Beis is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting beistravel.com/GGE. That's BEIS travel.com/GGE.
Okay, thank you to Helix for supporting Girls Gotta Eat. Go to helixsleep.com/GGE, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Use code HelixPartner20 and you'll get 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows. You guys know how obsessed we are with Helix. Both of us have multiple Helix mattresses. It's all we sleep on. I have made sure that my parents have one, my brother has one, my boyfriend has one. I just refuse to go anywhere and not sleep on a Helix mattress. That is how obsessed we are. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including the award-winning Luxe Collection, which we love. We have the Luxe Collection mattresses, the newly released Helix Elite Collection, a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers, and even a mattress made just for kids. So for everyone in the family, and you're just going to take their quiz, which is really fun, and then they will give you your personalized mattress recommendation. It's going to be shipped straight to your door, free of charge. You can try it out for 100 nights to make sure you love it, and then there's a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix mattress. We know everybody sleeps differently. You might sleep on your back, your side, roll around all night on your stomach, or you might want a soft, medium, or firm mattress. We are all so different. So that is why they offer really something for everyone. And so you're just going to order what works best for you, come straight to your door. You can sleep on it that night. You're going to love it. It will change your life. You'll get the best sleep of your life, and you can thank us later. So Helix is offering 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/GGE and use code HelixPartner20. This is their best offer with Helix. Better sleep starts now.
Let's introduce our topic.
What are we calling this?
Not sure yet.
Okay,
Will you
great.
put me on the
TBD.
spot? I titled the episode Sunday night.
Sunday
You know.
nights. I know. I can only ask. We only 10 p.m. Sunday nights. Don't ask before that.
But what I will do is talk about 2 other episodes you guys can reference that kind of align with these things, because we want to always make sure if you are listening to us talk about a topic and you're like, wait, but you didn't cover this part of that topic, like we might have done it already. So we're going to be talking a little bit about friends of the opposite sex today, just for generality's sake, like women and their male friends. And we did an episode called Should You Fuck Your Friends? And that was in August 2018. So like, geez, like, yeah,
Damn,
we hit that
yesterday.
hard. And that touched on some stuff about fucking your friends. We talked about some of our guy friends that we've had a little bit of history with, stuff like that. So that's out there. And then also we're talking about jealousy today. And we did another episode that you guys would probably find interesting if you're curious about jealousy with like social media and stuff like that. And that was, is he micro cheating? And that was episode 69.
Girl,
So-
thank you for doing that research.
Yeah. So those are kind of ones that like, we asked you guys what you wanted to hear about jealousy, basically.
So that was so interesting to me is
Yeah.
when we like pitched this out, because like I mean, obviously we want to do episodes that you guys care about. And we said like, what do you guys want to hear about in jealousy? And overwhelmingly, it was about friends of the opposite sex. So my partner has friends of the opposite sex. I don't know how to deal with it, whether it's a coworker, a longtime friend, and we'll get into that stuff. Or I have friends of the opposite sex and my partner's acting crazy jealous. And, what are the boundaries? What am I allowed to ask for? When do I call it quits? Am I being overly jealous? Am I being quote unquote crazy or being gaslit? I just thought like it was so interesting. The overwhelming amount of responses wasn't like, I'm so jealous and I feel like it was like, I want to work on this. My partner has like, we'll just put it in like straight male, female term. My male partner has female friends and it's hard for me.
Yeah. So we were like, fuck it. Let's just hone in on that. Cause there's also so many different parts of like jealousy. That's such a broad topic. So again, like I saw a lot of people wanting to know about social media stuff. And we did an episode called Do It for the Gram a while back. And that was a lot more about like social media, when you post somebody, things like that. So if that's kind of what you're concerned with, social media behavior, 2 episodes for you.
Yeah. And obviously there's elements of jealousy where you're like, my last partner cheated on me and I can't like let this go. And I'm bringing it. We'll talk about that on a future episode. But I mean, obviously those are real fears and things that I would say, seek some therapy for if you can't let go of things. But I love this topic. I'm excited. I think you and I both have a lot of male friends in varying realms that we've dealt with this stuff with as well.
Yeah.
Whether we liked them at one point, slept with them at one point, and like becoming friends with their significant others.
Well, right out of the gate, let's just answer this question. Can men and women be just friends? What? Yes. Grow up. What is this, Mike Pence? The Mike Pence rule, can't have a solo dinner with a woman. It's so insulting and like a short-sighted outlook that men and women couldn't be platonic friends. Like we're primal animals. We just can't be around each other. Like a man just can't be around a woman without fucking her. It's so lame. Anyone who says it is a red flag. Anybody out there saying men and women can't just be friends, you can't. It's a red flag to me.
I Googled, can men and women be friends? Because I'm trying to do like research for this episode and because I'm trying to.
I don't need to Google it. I live it.
I Googled it and there's so many different opinions about this. And it's like, yeah, one size fits one. It's like, is your man some crazy cheater? Yeah, maybe he can't have friends that are female. Is the person you're talking about his ex? Yeah, maybe you don't want him hanging out with her. Can I sit down and hang out with the dude, not take my pussy out? Yes.
Episode's over. That's all we're talking about.
Mic drop. Bye. I mean, I think that there's all kinds of boundaries. I think we want to be with a partner that respects us and demands that their friends respect you. And if that's not happening, then address that shit in your relationship. But do Ashley and I have friends that are guys that we haven't fucked? A couple.
Oh my God. No, I mean, we have so many guy friends. Like I've had best guy friends since high school.
Also, like there are realms of possibility where you have hooked up with a person and you go back to being friends. And we'll talk about that. But like, yeah, just because I fucked somebody when I was 19 in college doesn't mean in my mid 30s I still can't not be on your man's dick. Like, there's plenty of people I grew up we're like yelling at everybody.
We're
People
so
are
mad.
like, we don't no one why are you yelling? I have like all kinds of everybody I grew up with. I have all kinds of guy friends that like I hooked up with in high school and college, and like I'm friends with their wives, and I sit at weddings with them and birthday parties, and like none of them should be worried I can't like not lock it up around their like middle-aged husband dads.
I know, it's so true. Yeah, and I mean, I always say, I mean, let's just get into it. You know, I think that we'll touch on this quickly and then we'll move on. We'll get into more like the jealousy stuff, but like Rain and I both have close guy friends that we have hooked up with in the past. I mean, you one of your very best friends, you thought you really were in love with him for a minute. Like, and you're great friends with him now, have zero feelings for him. You can spend the night at his house and like not even want to like him to touch you. And like, I've had that experience too. I've had guy friends that I thought I had feelings for at one point, maybe told them, they weren't reciprocated. I've had guy friends that have told me they had feelings for me, asked me out, we're still friends. It can get awkward for a minute there. Like, but if you really both feel comfortable and you want to continue the friendship, you can. I mean, I think everybody has these stories. Like, I sometimes think about like, if you have hooked up, it's almost better. This is not how everybody thinks, but if you are dating somebody and you're worried about his best girlfriend, I'm like, I'd almost they rather tried it out. Like, it's almost better because it didn't work and they actually tried. Like, it's better than like them both wondering what could have been. Like, if I have a guy friend and he has some best girlfriend and they hooked up drunkenly years prior or whatever, like, I'm almost like, well, they definitely didn't want to date. They would have dated if they wanted to date.
I think there's a lot of people that are of the ilk of like, there's no such thing as like a guy that's your friend. It's just a guy that hasn't fucked you yet. I almost prefer that we fucked. And then you just know exactly like you said, that's like not going to work out. And it's like, okay, well, we like got that off the table and now we can just be friends again.
Yeah. And you can still think your guy friends are hot and wonder what it would be like to fuck them too and never act on it. In the same way, like I have a lot of hot guy friends. I always have. Like I surround myself with hot men. And I feel like there's, if you're dating a guy, that if he has a hot girlfriend, he thinks she's hot. He has thought about what it would be like to fuck her. These are human things and you can never control that. So that's just one thing to like let go immediately. My man has like these hot girlfriends. Okay. What are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean?
It just doesn't matter. Like we're all human. Like we have to let go of this idea that like we have a partner and then they no longer are attracted to anybody else ever forever. Like,
I love that.
It doesn't matter. And even if they did sleep with the person, they're not sleeping with the person anymore. Like I do think guys can be friends and I'm sure my guy friends think my titties are great and would love to like see them. It doesn't mean they're going to like ruin the whole friendship and burn it to the ground. Like it's fine. Like I think that we can talk about like how to manage like your negative self-talk and your jealousy towards like the end of the episode. But like, I think that that's something that you have to deal with. And like, I do think people can just be friends. And that doesn't mean I'm not attracted to them. It just means I'm not going to suck their dick.
Yeah.
And my best guy friend in the world, like, we fucked and we came back from it and we're fine. And yes, we can just be friends. We're just friends. Like throughout the pandemic, like he's the only person who I like really was around a lot. And I slept at his house half naked all the time.
Yeah.
It never crossed either of our minds to touch the other person.
I know. I have a really good guy friend that like I thought I had feelings for. I guess I did. And I told him and they weren't reciprocated and everything's fine. Don't look at him like that anymore. He doesn't look at me like that anymore. Like the feelings passed. Like those things happen all the time. I think if you are having feelings for your friend of the opposite sex, you can always shoot your shot and you can say something, over drinks one night. Like, have you ever thought about this romantically? You see what they say. I've had guy friends. Like I had a guy friend that I like really just liked as a friend. And he was like, we should go to dinner or whatever. And I was like, yeah, we should get a group together. Like I just like shut it down so quickly. There's little ways. This episode isn't about that, but like, I just can't hammer it home enough that like, if something happens where one person catches feelings, like it is not the end of the friendship by any stretch. And I think we talked about that a little bit more in Should You Fuck Your Friends too.
We talked about the whole episode and I thought it was great. And I mean, you can fuck your friends, go for it, And it might be like a year of awkwardness. Then you're like, me and my friend, we're fine.
Yeah. And this kind of all is going to like weave together and like behavior, right? Because so much of it's just about how you act. It's about how you act with your friends of the opposite sex when you're dating somebody and vice versa. How the person you're dating or your partner acts with their friends of the opposite sex. How you act around them, how you communicate about them, how you're intermingling with your friends and with your partner. Like all these things are what matters to me.
Yeah. Maybe we start with like, my boyfriend has these female friends.
Yeah.
And I think there's like two scenarios. I think there's like this scenario where like he has a lot of female friends and that's tough for me. And I think there's the hardest scenario of all. He has this one female friend and it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, it depends. We talked a lot about this offline before we started recording. How does he act towards these people in relation to you, and where are the boundaries, and what does the behavior look like, and at the end of the day, where do you draw the line, and like where is it okay? My experience is that I dated somebody for on and off for years who went to law school with all these girls and maintained friendships with them, and then worked for them with them at law firms and was going out with them all the time, and it was a long distance relationship, and he was constantly going out to dinner with all these girls. I just didn't care. Like he was open with me and honest. He openly texted them in front of me. He included me in plans with them. He made it clear that we were dating. I knew that they knew who I was. They were always invited to hang out with us. I was invited to hang out with them. I followed them on Instagram. I DM'd with them. Like, I just felt like there was never a moment where I stopped and was like, something's going on here. Something's weird. And he never gave me pause. And I think that like, that's what you would hope somebody would do. That's not like, if all those things are happening and you still feel really threatened that your partner has a bunch of girlfriends, again, I think it's a little internal and you got to work on that.
Right. Well, and ask yourself, do you have guy friends? Like, can you put yourself in their shoes? Right. Like, I think the self-talk is, okay, but can I have platonic guy friends that I don't want to fuck or that don't want to fuck me, or that there's no feelings there? So like, why couldn't my partner, like, are you just being hypocritical, or do you not have any friends of the opposite sex? You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine, because, I have a little bit of a jealous streak, but I dated somebody seriously that had a lot of girlfriends. He worked with a bunch of girls. They would go out and they would do stuff together after work and things like that. I mean, they would text, they would message, things like that. And I had no room to talk. I had a ton of fucking guy friends. So it's like, can't you just kind of take a step back and be like, okay, I can have platonic friends, so why can't my partner? And if you can't, that's something you have to work on. Like, is it coming are you projecting is what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is this every relationship that you're in? Is every guy that you're dating, do you have a problem with them having girlfriends?
Yeah.
That's a you problem. If you're dating somebody and you have a problem just with them and their behavior with women, then you have to ask yourself, why does this person make me feel like this? Why don't I trust this person? Am I being gaslit? Is this irrational? Like, why am I with a person that makes me feel so shitty all the time? And I think that people just get into these like loops where they're just like fighting about, who you're hanging out with and it being females and, what are the boundaries? And, is this the first time this is happening, or is this always? And I think at some point you just got to let it go.
Yeah.
Like with my ex, he wasn't apologizing for going out to dinner with these girls. At first, I thought it was like a little weird. And I was like, I'm not around. They don't know me as well. At some point, I just had to decide I was going to live my life and be fine with it. And until one of them really gave me a reason to be pissed, I just had to like live my life. And if you're going to spend every day being anxious and worried and stressed out, that's probably not the person you should be with.
Right. And your man could go to drinks with his girlfriend and fuck her that night. He could also fuck her during the middle of the day while you're at work. Like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Like, you can't control the situation. Like, I just think it's like, you get in your head of like, well, I don't want them doing this and this and this. And you're like, it could happen at any time if it's going to happen. There's no like, I'm going to try to keep them out of this situation because these are high risk. Anything could happen at any time.
I mean, you just can't stop a person from doing what they want to do. Yeah. So if somebody is determined to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you. And I probably fell into this when I was a lot younger because I was dating somebody who was cheating on me and treating me terribly. But no amount of going through his phone, his DMs, his text messages, crying, fighting, knowing where he was, showing up at his work, it didn't stop him from cheating on me. It made my life terrible.
Right.
It made me miserable. It made me think about this every second of every day. I just shouldn't have been with that person. And no amount of personally stressing out is going to fix that. And it became almost this like self-fulfilling prophecy where I was so worried he was cheating on me and like jealous that the problems were no longer about that. The problems were that I was insecure and I was jealous and I was creating a problem all the time. And like, it's a weird example because he really was cheating on me.
Yeah.
But like, I do think sometimes you get so wrapped up in this that you become the demise of your relationship, not the fact that the person's cheating on you.
Right.
And I love what you said. Like, they could just fuck that person in the middle of the day. I love it. I love that you told people that. It's just true. Like,
yeah.
you can't
what are you
stop
gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? Where are you gonna go?
Right. And like, if my ex had said to me, like, I'm going out to dinner with this girl, and I would have screamed at him for an hour, would that have stopped? He would have gone anyways, and he could have fucked her if he felt like it.
Right. That's exactly it.
Okay, so I love gift giving at this time of year, but when finding great gifts, things can really start to add up. And that's why this season I am shopping with Quince. Quince is the go-to place for luxury essentials at affordable prices for everyone on my list, including myself. We'd like to thank Quince for supporting our show. Go to quince.com/GGE to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your order. So I'm really, really glad I found this company and this site. Everything is so affordable, but looks really luxury. So as you're perusing it, they have 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters. They have washable silk tops and dresses. They have cotton sweaters and all kinds of comfy stuff, like just cozy pants that you can wear. I love the colors. I love the styles, but the prices are really the reason to shop here, on top of obviously the selection. Prices are 50 to 80% less than similar brands. So it's unbelievable. It partners directly with top factories to cut out the cost of the middleman, and it just passes the savings directly on to you from Quince. And I just love what they're doing. I love the styles. There's so much variety, and it is such a one-stop shop, whether you're shopping for kids, you're a significant other, your parents, anybody will really love this. You can get affordable luxury for everyone on your list with Quince. Go to quince.com/GGE to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your order. That's QUINCE.com/GGE for free shipping and 365-day returns. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp Therapy Online. For 10% off your first month, go to betterhelp.com/GGE. So we all carry around different stressors, big and small, throughout life. And when we keep them bottled up, it can start to affect us really negatively. And therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and figure out how to work through whatever is weighing you down. And sometimes we can have journals and self-talk and friends and family that help us, but it is really, really helpful to talk to a therapist outside of that, and they can empower you to be a better version of yourself and set boundaries and work through whatever is going on with you personally, professionally, in your love life, with friends. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. So you'll just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime at no additional charge. I absolutely love what they're doing, and they make it so, so simple. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GGE today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GGE.
I want to say to you, I am very inspired, because you said you want to talk about your best guy friend and his relationship with his wife. I'm inspired by that relationship, and I think there's a lot of really good takeaways, because I think that probably what most girls fall into is, my man has this one best friend and I don't like that girl, and I don't like that girl's behavior, and I'm intimidated. It's not usually as simple as like, my man just has a lot of girlfriends.
Yeah.
I think it's usually, I have a problem with this one person and I feel threatened by it, and I'm uncomfortable by it. And I think that you and these two people are a really good example of how a man should act with his significant other in the situation, and how the best girlfriend should act.
Yeah.
So I would love for you to talk about
I mean,
it a little bit.
I have a best guy friend named Rob. You're friends with him too. We've been friends for we've been friends for a while. We've been friends for like 8 or 9 years at this point. I mean, he's married. I'm friends with his wife. He just has always lived a really open, transparent life, where I feel like the people that he had, the girls that he's dated, have never had an issue with me, because I was friendly to them. I'm not like weird and territorial and like, you need to get through me.
Yeah, you don't act like an
weird way to
asshole.
act. Yeah. So there's that. There's me being like accepting and always wanting to get to know whoever he's dating, because he's my friend, and like, great, new girlfriend for me too, but I think it's just him, like, he was here for a week. We went out every night. Like, we went to dinner, went to drinks. We were hanging out in my apartment, getting drunk, like, and most nights we FaceTimed his wife. Like, it was just like, we were the three of us talking. We've hung out the three of us so many different times. And all that being said, a large part of this is obviously her, and how cool she is, and how confident she is in herself and secure in her relationship, which is the goal that we should all want and aspire to, is a relationship that feels so secure that these things don't bother you. But I guess when it comes to him and his actions, he makes a point, because he has other close girlfriends aside from me, like I would say I'm the number one, but like he makes a point to like make sure the person he's dating, now his wife, is not threatened at all because of the openness, the transparency, and the like willingness to introduce these people to each other. It's when it feels secretive that it's fucking weird.
Yes. Did you find out that they hung out with this person without you? Are they not answering their text messages in front of you?
Yes.
Like, are you, I think it's so fun. Like, you should be on a group text with these people. You should be included in plans. If you're not, something's going on. Has your partner communicated what the boundaries are? Like, do you feel like they're on your side? You know?
And these guys, I gotta say, you and I have so many guy friends, and they always will like comment on our Instagram, like flame emojis, like looking hot, like, and their partners see it. Like they just, it's like, and I'm you know, some of them are a little on the flirtier side in general, is who they are as people. But like, when it's all out in the open, that's when it's okay. Like it's when it's weird stuff behind the scenes that you don't know about. Like, I just think that if you are a person that has close friends of the opposite sex and you want to date and you want to keep everything kosher, it's kind of your responsibility to be open and honest. And if you're on the other side of that, you should be looking at your partner to do that too. I mean, when I dated my ex, my pretty serious ex, it was kind of at the point in my life where I was hanging out with a lot of dudes. Like most of my girlfriends had kind of settled down. They were getting married. I had like a whole crew of dude friends, and I couldn't wait for him to meet them. They're still all friends, so that's cool. But like, I just couldn't wait to introduce them to like my guy friends. And I feel like he felt a little intimidated at first, but I think the willingness, I was willing to introduce everybody, you guys be friends, text without me, yada, yada, join a fantasy football league together, showed him that there was nothing to be scared of. I couldn't wait for him to meet Rob. You know, like there was no dude friend that he didn't know about except for one. And I felt like when we started dating seriously, I kind of like drew a boundary there. And I think I like that you have a situation like this too with some of your guy friends. Like, I think some people have that flirty friend that does kind of cross the line into like too flirty territory. And I think the person that has that friendship, if they start to date someone seriously that they're serious about and they want to commit to, it's up to them to draw that boundary.
It's always that one girl and you're like, what's going on here? And that person's crossing a line. I would ask your partner why they're not drawing a boundary, because it's up to them to express to the other person that they are dating somebody now, and not express to them in the sense that you're a bitch and you're jealous and she can't handle it. And so you need to back off. And what I'm saying is I do not expect my partner to say to a girl that makes me uncomfortable, Raina's crazy, so you need to stop.
Right.
Like, I would expect my partner to communicate that we are a united front and you need to stop this. And I do have like a really good guy friend, and we communicate pretty like flirty all the time. And I'm always like, baby, you're the most amazing man in the world and I love you. But like, if he started dating somebody, first of all, I would stop because I'm not a piece of shit. Like, that's just our relationship. We joke around. I would die if somebody he was dating saw that and was like offended by it. And so like, if your man has a friend that's a girl that is not nice to you, that is a bitch to you, that is not pleasant when you come around, won't make eye contact, she's in love with him, and fuck that girl. And I dated somebody and this was a problem for her. I thought, listen, I dated this guy. He had this best girlfriend. She was just always around. She did not like that he was giving attention to somebody else. I think that she clearly had feelings for him and did not like. I loved how rude she was to me. I thought it was hilarious. I leaned into this so hard, and I would like his face in front of her, whatever it took. It's funny. You're dating that person, not them.
Yeah.
And if he wanted to date that person, he would have just dated that person. Yeah. You're probably coming around years later after they've known each other. They probably would have dated. So listen, if the friend has feelings for your man, that's fine. It's up to your partner to communicate that like this is not appropriate behavior.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't like suggest instigating another person like day one out of the gate. I would always try to like make my man's friends my friend. Right. I would always want to socialize with them. I would always want to like follow them on Instagram, joke around. Like I would never want to be that girl that my man's friends hate, because like you're just not setting yourself up for success. Like you should want to be friends with people. But yeah, if that girl, and I just read like some different messages from people that were just like, my man is this friend, she's not nice to me. Fuck that girl. That's her shit.
I know. It's there's a couple things. It's either she is like in love with him secretly or non-secretly, or she's just like this weird, like territorial, like she's trying to be like a sister. Like, you got to get through me, you know, like you have to win my affection. Shut up. Shut up. You're so immature. I have a brother and I don't act like that.
I'm an adult. I don't have to get through anybody.
So weird. Like, it's such weird behavior. And like, honestly, question who your man is friends with. Like, if your person you're dating or you're starting to date has like these immature catty friends, like, I don't know, that's a turnoff to me too. But I do understand scenarios in which guys can't, like, they don't see it, and then it's hard for them to like confront the person. You know what I mean? Like, guys are just a little like kind of clueless. Like, they're like, I don't get it. I don't understand what you're talking about. And they could actually kind of, I get it. They're a little more clueless when it comes to some of this like girl behavior.
I think in this scenario, like, this girl was just one of the guys. She was just used to being the only girl around. I think she had this big group of guy friends. I think she probably was in love with the guy that I was dating. But like, I think that she did not like that another girl like came in. And I think that you're right. I think a lot of men just like don't see it. And they're like, you're envisioning this like problem that's just not there. Like, I don't see it. I don't think men understand like the nuances of like female shade as much as we think that they do.
Right.
And I think that at the end of the day, like, you can only ask your partner to like set boundaries so many times. And then you got to evaluate, like, is it her or me, or do I got to get out of here? Are you dating somebody that you also truly think is going to cheat on you? Like, and that's a bad feeling too. Like, ask yourself, do I really think my partner would risk our relationship for this person?
Yeah. And like, assess the relationship in every other way. Are they showing up for you? Are they loyal? Are they dependable? Like, if all those things are there and there's just this like catty girl, I don't know. I guess my fear is that she's like in his ear. You know what I mean? Like, saying stuff that's not true, or like really trying to sabotage the relationship. I also think the person, the crazy best friend, the crazy best girlfriend, best guy friend, whatever, it's like that person needs to like get a life a little bit, you know, like they shouldn't be freaking out that their best friend is dating somebody that they're into. They should be happy for them. It's like that with your best girlfriend. Like, we've talked about this with other episodes. Like, you could have a best friend of the same sex and they start dating somebody and your relationship might shift a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, relationships ebb and flow. That's just like the world we live in. Like, you can't expect that your friend is going to start dating somebody seriously and your relationship is not going to change at all. So it's just like, that's why we have a lot of friends. That's why we have hobbies. That's why we have family and vacations, and we do things so we don't just obsess over our one best guy friend so that we turn into this huge raging bitch when they start to date somebody.
Right. And if you are that girl, if you're the girl, and I've been there, I have been. So I'm not saying like fuck all these people and they're all nuts. Like, I think that like I repurposed my best guy friend for a time period as my man who wasn't my man, you know, and he filled that role in my life as the testosterone in my life. And I remember like we used to have brunch every single Saturday and Sunday. And I used to think like, if he starts dating somebody, this will no longer be appropriate. Like, I can't spend every single weekend with him all the time, and I'm going to need to stop this. And he did like go on dates with people, and I was like, it bothered me a little bit. And then I was like, wait, I need to do a reality check with what I'm doing in my life, because I'm not dating this person. I'm not going to date this person. This doesn't need to be my man. That's not my man. Like, he should date other people. We're not going to date. Yeah, I needed to like get a life a little. Yeah. That's what it was. So I'm speaking from the point of view of like having been that person. Like, I needed to work out my own shit.
Right.
But I'm also not a fucking jerk. And when my guy friends find somebody they care about, I back off, because that's important. It's important to treat people with respect.
Right.
But I do feel for people that are worried about that stuff. And you can only try so much, like, until you're like, okay, is this sort of like a me problem? And I was talking to a guy friend of ours yesterday, and he told me it was fine to talk about this. One of our really close guy friends was dating somebody, and he has, I would say, very platonic working relationships with a couple of girls, and his girlfriend had like a very serious problem with it, and she like couldn't stop. And he said there was no amount of boundaries I could set. Like, there was nothing I could do to prove to her that this wasn't an issue and I wasn't sleeping with these people. And he said, like, I told her, like, I will only have this discussion so many times. And he said, I told her 3 times. And like the 3rd time, I just like had to call it. She couldn't help herself. And she like burned the relationship to the ground because she couldn't get out of her own head. That,
like, she couldn't get out of her way.
He was going to like ruin, he was going to cheat on her. And I don't want to say like she ruined the whole relationship, because I wasn't dating him and I don't know what happened in that relationship. Really. But I don't know. I just do think there are sometimes like you just have to call it sometimes if you really can't get past it. I don't know.
Well, and those are just, I think, general like jealousy and like relationship sabotaging advice in general. It's like, always take a beat, you know, take a breather, try to figure out what's actually happening here, like try to act rationally, you know, like take a moment, assess the situation. Is it because you're drunk? That's could be a thing too. You know, like when you're lashing out and being jealous and like, oh my God, I have to like figure out what's going on with my man and his girlfriends. Like take a moment, you know, assess this. Are you bringing baggage from your past relationship into this one? Like, where does this come from? Therapy's always great, you know, and sometimes just like self-talk, asking another friend, am I acting crazy? They might say, yeah, you are, you know, and I think sometimes when you're really falling for somebody and you think that they're the most attractive person ever and they're so wonderful, then yeah, you think everybody else wants to fuck them, but they don't. You know what I mean? Like she just thought he was like the hottest, coolest dude. So here she is thinking we all wanted to fuck him. Girl, we don't.
We don't. I felt,
you know what I mean? Like it's just flattering.
Yes.
Like I think that's when my ex thought I was the most incredible, most beautiful, funniest, most wonderful woman he'd ever met at a moment in time. And so he
might still think that.
He thought that all my guy friends, like I think he thought, how could they not? Like how could I am falling for her so deeply. How could these other men that are in her orbit not like her like that? They don't.
They don't.
I gotta tell you.
Can't stress this enough. You're the only one that wants to fuck me.
But I will say, like I said, I had one guy friend that our relationship was too flirty, and he would call me all day, every day, and he would really try to dominate my time. And when I started dating my ex, I told him like, this has to stop. And like, he flipped out a little, and we weren't friends for a while, and it took months, and it's fine. And that was the price I paid. And it made me realize that that was his shit, not mine. Like, you should be happy for me. I found somebody I like, and you maybe had feelings for me. I don't really know. Our relationship was too flirty for me to have a boyfriend now. So I'm drawing the boundary. Happy to still be friends. We can't talk all day, every day. Like we can't be pseudo dating because I'm actually dating somebody now. And I love that you use that example with Dylan of like, it is a flirty relationship. You tend to have a little more flirty communication with some of your guy friends. And it's just like, the second they have a partner, you would just stop. You wouldn't even feel the need to. You would feel weird doing it.
I mean, I would feel like a terrible, shitty person. What do I need to do this for?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a weird, gross thing. And yeah, I tell him every day, like, you're the most amazing man. And I love you so much. And I say, hi, baby, all the time. I really, really felt for our friend's girlfriend that she was so in her head and she couldn't stop. And
she might grow out of it.
I saw, she was young. And I do think that, like, you know, she was out drinking. I think that sometimes alcohol does play a big role in it. But like, I feel sorry for people that are so tortured that they can't stop. And that it's like diarrhea of the mouth, that you're just mad about everybody your partner's friends with. And like, I can't stress this enough. The guy that she was dating, like, would never have cheated on her. He just wouldn't have done it. And the people that she thought he was going to do it with, he just wasn't. And I think that, like, if you truly believe that the person that you are with is going to cheat on you, then you shouldn't be with that person. But if it's every person, you really are so in your head and you're making yourself sick about this. Like, I really think that is something that is deserving of therapy in the best way. And you should understand, like, why you can't stop burning this to the ground. I feel for her. It is a real impulse to not be able to stop. I do think there's some healthy jealousy. Yeah. I think that there's like some fun. I do think like some people want to know that you're... Do you think they're so hot that you expect other people to find them hot too?
Totally agree. Yeah.
And I've done some like pretty funny, crazy things. Like I have dated this person sort of on and off for, I don't know how to describe him as a guy that I used to date. Yeah. And I saw on his birthday, this girl posted this photo of them out for his birthday. It was him and 4 girls. I looked all of them up and then I texted him all the reasons that I'm better than every single one of them. Yeah. I thought it was super funny. He knows that I'm not yelling at him and being mad at him about shit. I thought it was like a hysterical thing. And that lets him know that, like, I find him attractive and I want to murder every girl that stands near him.
I love that you said that. Like, with an ex of mine, one time I just went back on his Facebook and found a profile pic of him with his girlfriend like 5 years prior and just wrote, "Who is this?" in all caps with a knife emoji. And then just for him, like to make him laugh. But the way the Facebook worked, it showed up in the feed. So the next morning, Jenny texted me. She goes, "I'm crying at my desk." She's like, I had guy friends being like, "Ashley, you're crazy." And they were like, the picture was from like 2012. Like it was like his girlfriend from so many years prior. Like, and I just was like, it's too funny. I'm going to leave it. He was like, Ashley, what are you doing? I'm like, it's funny.
I think it's hilarious.
Now it's in the timeline.
I love those little things. I think it's funny to let somebody know, like you said, I think you're hot.
I think you're hot and people should want to fuck you.
The craziest thing I did was last summer, this guy I was dating sent me a photo of himself sitting on his porch and his computer was on his lap. And it was like a huge like landscape photo of like, it was his yard. And I zoomed in like 300 times to the computer screen to see who he was G-chatting with. And I was like, who the fuck is Amanda?
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny. Like he thought it was funny. He knows I'm not being serious. Like it is so insane that somebody would blow a photo up that many times to be like, what are you fucking talking to Amanda?
I know.
Like I do think there's healthy jealousy and you can be funny about it. And I think that it's fine to communicate, like not funny stuff, but like it's fine to communicate boundaries. It's fine to say like, I'm mad about this. This is where I stand. This is how I expect to be treated. And somebody can tell you I'm not going to treat you like that and go fuck yourself. That's what I do. Yeah. You're allowed to be mad about stuff and set boundaries and then see how it unfolds.
And I think my nature, again, is like a little bit jealous. And so I was dating a guy not too long ago that I felt like I would always see him doing stuff with girls and like feel that like initial reaction of jealousy and then have to literally be like, Ashley, you have so many guy friends and they are all hot and awesome and amazing. Like how hard is it to date you? Like how hard is it for a guy I'm dating to see me hanging out with guys that are super hot, successful, you know, Rob, Francis, this and that, you know what I mean? Like I had a boyfriend, I would come to New York and like stay in Rob's apartment with him. Like the guys I dated dealt with it. I'm sure they didn't love it, but like I just always have to put it back on myself of like, you do the same thing and nothing is going on. And I wanted to talk about really quickly, I wanted to talk about the no new friends thing because I like have a lot to say. I'll just use an example. I became friends with Francis while he has always had a girlfriend. He's had a girlfriend since we met him. Like serious girlfriend, like they live together now. So like I was a new friend, you know what I mean? Like I was a new friend that became like very close with him. And I think there was some work related issues there. You know, we both do comedy. I think like we connected professionally. But when we hung out, like the first time Francis invited us to come hang out was like at a party at his house. Like his girlfriend was there. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, hey, you want me and you to go get a drink? Like I think there's like ways to make new friendships that like unspoken rules that people should abide by if they're making new friendships with members of the opposite sex when they're dating somebody. And I think those involve kind of like, again, the openness, like, oh, I met this person that's cool in the area of work that I'm in, or, you know, I'm thinking of inviting these girls, Ashley and Raina, to the barbecue this weekend. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just like all in the approach, all in like how you choose to spend your time with those people and like letting your partner know. Also, again, we've talked about this for multiple weeks now. There's people with open relationships that none of this fucking matters. You know what I mean? Like I'm just talking about pretty traditional, like you're monogamous and you have amount of healthy jealousy. And I think we always jokingly say no new friends, but that would be hypocritical because like you and I have become friends with men that have girlfriends. We're friends with guys that are married. We're friends with Mike and Mike. They have wives. We became friends with them while they were with their wives. Like I think there's a level of like how you start those new friendships and how transparent you are about it with your partner and like what you should expect from your partner if he is making quote unquote new friends.
But I think there's context there. Like exactly. Like you met him for the first time at a comedy show and we socialized with his girlfriend. She's aware of it. When he comes to hang out with us, she is aware of it. It's not hidden. It's not, don't mention this to her. It doesn't feel so duplicitous. Like everything is within context. Like I think it is more, you know, if somebody just starts popping up, you never heard of her.
Yep.
She's commenting on his Instagram. Why is this going on? You should absolutely ask about it. You don't talk like a crazy person, but I do think we should touch on coworkers for just a second because I think, you know, your man's at work, your significant other's at work, and they're spending all this time with this person and they understand a part of your partner's life that you just don't, and you're not around for. And I think it's natural to feel a little jealousy about like the person that they spend all this time with.
Yeah, for sure. I guess the main thing is like, are they excluding you from like their work life? You know what I mean? Because I think people are entitled to have their separate hobbies, have their separate friends and work and things like that. Like you don't need to like become one. Like I don't think that's a healthy relationship at all. But like there is a line of like, why don't they invite you every once in a while out? You know, I think healthy relationships, you do know your partner's coworkers and what they're doing. And this isn't to just like always be involved, but like asking yourself, are you being excluded for some reason and why?
Yeah. Everybody I've ever dated, it's no big deal if I pop into a happy hour after work. I'm included in holiday plans. I know their coworkers. I know the like work drama at work.
Right.
You know when you're being excluded and when somebody is trying to like hide something. And also, I mean, just ask yourself, do I trust my partner? Do I trust my partner to go to their job and have a relationship with somebody of the opposite sex and not fuck them?
Right.
Like, I think it's totally fine that you're not a part of every part of your partner's life. And maybe they do flirt with the person a little bit at work. But as long as you know that that person is aware that you exist.
Flirt with somebody at work back.
Yeah, whatever. Get back to them.
You don't like not get back at them, but like I always think like that, like if I could do this, if I could be a little flirty with like someone of the opposite sex at work, like why can't my partner and it be okay? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if you think it can't be, then maybe you have some trust issues there, that there's like an underlying issue.
Yep. So I want to give credit to how stressed out it might make you feel that your partner spends a whole day with another person and they understand that. But as long as you feel like you're being included and you're, it's above board and that person knows you exist, I would just sort of let it go. Everybody's going to have a private life that you're not a part of all the time. There's nothing you can do to stop that. So
yeah.
And yeah, of course, your partner could go to work and fall in love with their coworker. You're just going to never let your partner out of the house.
What are you going to do? Make them quit their job?
Well, I kind of like that idea.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
You guys go into business together. You started candle making Etsy business. You're like, this is the only way I can keep tabs on you.
Never work with my partner.
Oh my God.
So I think to like wrap this part up, if you're sitting here and thinking like, I've tried all these things, I'm rational, like I did all these things, I tried to be calm, I set boundaries, I asked him to stop doing these things and he still won't stop with the close girlfriend and I feel like shit. Like I think that you're in a tough place, but I at least feel comfortable walking away from situations knowing I tried everything.
Yeah.
And I think at some point you have to say to yourself, I'm going to let this go and I'm going to feel comfortable knowing that I'm the head bitch here and I'm number one, or you got to walk away. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's like anything else. It's like any other issue you have in your relationship. You bring it up in a rational way. You deal with your shit internally. You bring it up to your partner. You set these boundaries. If they still aren't hearing you, they're still not validating you, that could be indicative of a larger problem in your relationship anyway. So I don't know any couples that have ever broken up because of the one person's opposite sex friends. But if this is this huge problem you're fighting about all the time, you keep having the same fight, like ask yourself what else is going on in the relationship too. So, in general, I think it's like across the board relationship advice. If this issue, if you cannot get past it, you come to a crossroads and you see what you got to do.
I love what you said because I think that like if someone no one's going to break up because of like this one friend. They're going to break up because your partner invalidates everything you think and feel about everything.
Right.
It's not just going to be that. So I think that's great advice.
Yeah. Let's talk about if someone you're dating is jealous of your friends. We kind of already touched on it, but I haven't totally experienced this, but I think we should just knock it out of the way. Like you are a person like me and you have guy friends and you're dating somebody and he is jealous. I'm not going to date that person.
I feel like,
but I mean,
I feel like some of this changes with age. I feel like, I have become less jealous than I was when I was really young. I've learned to just let things go a little bit. I've also learned, as we've said over and over, that I'm not going to stop somebody from cheating on me, so it doesn't matter. I do think we grow out of these behaviors. Yeah. I think at this point in my life, like if somebody said to me, like, I don't like that you're on the road all the time, and I don't know what you're doing and who you're with and who you're going out with, and if somebody started giving me shit for like hanging out with the venue staff after a show, like there's only so many things I can do to reassure you that I am committed to you, that I care about you, that you're my priority, that I have plenty of friends I haven't fucked and I will continue to not fuck. There's only so much I can do to appease somebody else's ego. And then at some point, that's their problem.
Yeah. I mean, I think that you ask yourself, one, do they have a reason to be? Are you hiding something? Are you being as honest and transparent and open as you can be? Like take a step back, like, am I giving this person a reason to be jealous? Or are they a jealous person? Are they gaslighting you? Are they accusing you of stuff? And do you want to be with that person?
Right.
Like I have a girlfriend that she dated this guy. They went on a few dates and he started acting jealous. She came to visit me in New York and he was coming at her for guys being in the Instagram stories. And she went on to date him for a while. They are not together anymore, but he was like that the entire rest of the relationship. He had a ton of insecurities. And of course they broke up. And I've told her this, if I were her, I would have never gone past that point. I know that he was like a guy that she felt chemistry with. He was a good looking guy. I never would have gotten past the point of you coming at me while I'm on vacation because you see guys in Instagram stories. We've been on 3 dates. Like, I think if someone shows you that early on, that's a jealous person. Are they aware? Are they working on it? Or are they a crazy, jealous, possessive person? I'm not dating that person. It is a huge turnoff to me. Of course, I want healthy jealousy. Of course, I want you to think I'm desirable and that other guys want to fuck me. But like the accusations and the possessiveness is not for me. So for that reason, I'm out.
I want to agree with you. I want to give an example, but I also want to say how I probably would start if somebody really was being super jealous and I cared about the person. I'm not talking first 3 dates. I'm on a person, they're acting jealous. You know, I went out with that guy last year and
you dealt with
the bartender bought us shots. The reason why he bought us shots is because I used to have a food blog and the owner of the bar knew me and told that bartender to send me and my date shots. And this guy, he acted crazy and I really didn't like it. And I got up and left the date, which by the way, if you are uncomfortable with a man, you get up and you walk out of that fucking date. You leave because I was so uncomfortable. One of the first things I said to him when he started acting like this was, do you always act like this? Has this been a problem with other people before? And he said yes. It was nuts. So honestly, of course, that is not a person I'm continuing to date. If it's date 3 and you're already acting like a fucking lunatic, I'm out. But if I'm a little further into a relationship, and I do think that you and I have a job that not everybody has. If somebody said to me, it makes me uncomfortable that you're always on the road, you're around all these men, I'm not with you, I don't know what you're doing. The first thing I would say is there something that I'm doing to make you feel like this? And is there something I'm doing that I can stop that would be reasonable? Is there anything I can do to appease you? Maybe it's just, you just want a phone call at the end of the night. Every night you just want to know, I got back to the hotel, you want the phone call before I go to bed? Fine. And I think if we do that a few times, you'll probably start to trust me a little more anyways.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you're heard, your boundaries have been respected, I do think it'll stop a little bit. I know everybody doesn't have jobs where they travel, of course, but I would at least start, is this a rational person? Is there something I can do to make you feel better? Is there something I've been doing that makes you feel bad?
Right.
And then you evaluate, am I capable of doing those things? Am I willing to do those things? Is this rational? Is this okay? You start doing that and then it's usually fine.
Yeah. Okay. Usually though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because some people are just crazy jealous, 100%. Possessive.
Yeah.
That usually escalates into like bad behavior.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just, I can see that situation. I like that you said that. Like, hey, I've listened to your podcast. You always talk about getting off stage and fucking the bouncers. You know what I mean? Like I'm a human. I am going to assume that could happen. I don't know. Someone might, maybe a guy that has a little bit more tendency to be jealous. Like plenty of guys would be secure with it and they would be like, well, she's with me now. And that was like her crazy single days and those days are over. But I can see a scenario in which people know a little more information about you. Or, they look back at your Instagram and they realize you used to be a crazy party girl and you were with all these guys and you were doing fucking wet t-shirt contests on spring break and whatever. And they're like a little hesitant about who you are as a person. And I think that's a great example to like, hey, is there anything I can do? And is there anything I'm doing?
And you and I also are like a specific outlier case. Not everybody has like a podcast where we talk about sex and dating and then we go on the road. But yeah, I think that it's totally healthy to say, am I doing something? Can I stop doing it? Am I willing to do that? And we see, the crazy, unwarranted, I'm not doing anything to make somebody feel jealous. Like I'm a pretty trustworthy person. I'm pretty above board. Everybody I've ever dated has immediately met all of my guy friends, knows everybody in my life. It would be weird for you to feel crazy jealous. And I'm out. Like you said, I'm just not dating that person. Like I'm not going to get screamed at and accused of things and feel upset all the time and then creates this pattern where I'm just lying to you all the time about stuff. I'm just not going to do it. Like grow the fuck up. I'm not
grow up.
I just think like in terms of jealousy, like check in with yourself and there's like no amount of like combing someone's emails and texts and DMs and fighting with them that's going to stop them. And I've tried, like I have gone to the brink of insanity and back to try to stop somebody and all it did is make myself miserable. And if somebody is determined to be duplicitous, they will be. And I'm not saying don't ask questions. I'm not saying don't draw boundaries and communicate how you want to be treated. But what I am saying is don't make yourself sick over someone else's behavior and just try to have healthy reactions to it and see where it goes. Yeah.
So we want to talk about our listeners' male-female friendships. We are calling this, we're calling it the friend zone, but it's the mutual friend zone because I think friend zone has a connotation of like one person wants to not be in the zone, and that you are in it. So this is like you and let's say you're a woman, you and your best guy friend.
You've been mutually happily friend zoned with each other. And obviously like 90% of the responses were that he shits in front of you and farts in front of you. So yes, we didn't skip over that. But we got some great stuff from you guys just so that you can look at a relationship and know that it is totally platonic with you and somebody of the opposite sex.
Yes. Do you want to start?
Yes,
The first one is about you.
I felt personally attacked by this, and I had to read it. Raina does not understand this zone. Raina fucking understands the zone. Okay, if my guy friends have a girlfriend, I'm staying away. Okay, how do you know? By the way, okay, so how do you know that you're in the friend zone? He calls me mom. He tells me I'm like a sister to him. I fucked most of my guy friends and actually really stop when they like a girl.
Good for you.
He sends me his dick pics to gross me out when we're having an argument over text.
Oh my God.
We drunkenly made out once and I cried about it. I'm assuming she cried because she was so grossed out. We send each other poop TikToks.
No.
We got a lot of that. Videos on the toilet. Got a whole bunch of these. This is how I know we're in the friend zone. He's gay.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah. I love this. They're protective of me talking to a new guy, yet receptive.
I love
Balance is key. They introduce you to their friends. You fuck their friends. They don't care.
That's how you know.
That's how you know it's real.
Your guy friend has zero feelings for you. If you fucked a friend he introduced you to and he didn't care.
I give him sex tips to help him out with other girls.
Oh, I gave Rob a vibrator for him and Alice.
Yeah, you gave up that vibrator too.
I'm so mad about it. I was drunk and I was like, do you want this? I miss it every day.
He legit is not cute, like not at all.
Oh.
That's how she knew they were in the friend zone. We would never touch for longer than 0.3 seconds. That's how I know I'm in the friend zone with Ashley. He's one of the first people I text to say I did a thing. I feel like that's very friend zoning. I feel like you like did something like really nutso. Yeah, and like that's something I text my girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what you text your girlfriend.
Okay, so this next one is for you.
Okay, this one is for me. He's 5'5" and I'm 5'10".
That's how you know.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm a bridesmaid in his wedding to his fiance on her side. Oh, I love that. I was a bridesmaid on my guy friend's side.
You were the best man.
I was the best man. We always cuddle naked, get high, and watch movies. We're that platonic, so it's never weird.
Girl, that's not platonic. I wrote this down. You're naked.
Cuddle. No. Why are you guys naked?
Did she think she was answering the slide? This is how I knew he was gay.
Okay.
She's like,
why are you guys naked? Okay. He calls me dude, bro, buddy, or friend. He explains to me in great detail all of his sexual conquests. He sees me wearing my sweatpants pulled up to my titties and a low pony. Oh my gosh. She's got like the colonial founding father pony. He knows when my period is every month. He told me I've never been attracted to you, and I think it was so sweet. I'm trying to...
I don't think it's sweet.
I don't know if I'd like that.
I wouldn't like it. I want you to be
want my guy friends to have been attracted to me at one point. Just like one moment. They were like, is she hot?
All moments. I want them to be like, listen, I'm not going to cross the line, but I would.
We sleep in the same bed drunk sometimes. Nothing has ever happened. He calls me at 2 p.m., not 2 a.m. That's funny. We fucked once, and now we both know we never ever want that again. Same. I've experienced that.
So bad, never going back.
Weekly wing nights together. That's not something you do with someone you're trying to fuck. I love that.
Ashley
you can like wingman, wingwoman for each other. He consulted me for advice when he got chlamydia. Yeah, that's so true. He doesn't want to fuck you. We go to dinner and split the check. No questions asked. Same. He's fucked all my friends. We talk about him getting blowjobs from strangers, and I couldn't literally give less of a fuck. I don't have the urge to make out with him when I'm drunk off my ass. And I gave him an in-depth explanation for how the Diva Cup works.
I'm not doing that with my man. The Diva Cup.
Yeah, it's like the period cup.
You know how I knew that I was platonically friends with Dylan is that he came over at 10 p.m. to hang shelves, and he actually hung the shelves.
Well, he didn't actually hang the shelves.
Well, he attempted to hang the shelves.
Yeah, he attempted to hang the shelves.
That's how I knew. I was texting about this last night. I was like, how did you know we were platonic friends? He was like, I came over to hang shelves at 10 p.m.
All right, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah. I hopefully made a lot of you feel better about things.
Yeah, exactly. Just stop being such a crazy bitch.
You're a bitch.
Unless you have a reason to be.
Then burn his house down.
You guys know where to find us. girlsgoteatpodcast.com. Girls Gotta Eat Podcast on Instagram. Ash Hess, Raina.Greenberg on Instagram. Girls_Gotta Eat on Twitter. And YouTube.com/Girls Gotta Eat. And that's it for us.
Have a great week, guys.
Bye.